they're exhausted. I believe that the first week of school should be 3 days long or should be just 5 half days. We exhaust everybody that first week. They're going into 6, 7, 8 classrooms each day, and they're getting rules after rules. They're getting talked to all day long. They're tired. Do not give them curriculum work the first couple days of school. Find a way around it. You've got a whole lot of time. You'll figure it out. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Social Studies Hangout. My name is Ed, and I'm trying to give you some tips today on how to get your year off on a great start. As a 27-year classroom veteran, there were a lot of things I did as a young teacher that I wish I had more knowledge of and a better skill set to handle. And the best thing I do as a teacher at this point in my career is manage a classroom. I always will say teaching is an art, and everybody paints a little bit differently. My way may not be your way may not be my way. But there are some things that I think are ironclad, proven to work 100% of the time. Well, maybe not 100% of the time, but they're going to work almost all of the time to try to get you into a good year. When you're trying to do this, you have to remember that all of this is about you. It's not about the kids. It's about you and how you get things set up. You're going to get 120 different kids, perhaps. I'm secondary teacher, so I'm talking like a secondary. Can never do the elementary. You guys are your own little beast. But in that secondary level, you're going to get 120, 150 kids. I don't know how many you're going to have. And you're going to have to learn them and deal with them. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teachers a day. So if they only have a few teachers to learn and you've got 150 kids to learn, the job's on you. My number one thing, and I'm going to leave a copy of this down below in the description for you. Every year for the last 15 years or so, I have done a get to know me. This is just a worksheet where I have the kids come back and answer about 10 questions where I can then sit at home or sit in my planning period and just memorize these kids. First thing I have them do is give me a school appropriate picture. These kids are much more tech savvy than you are. I always tell them no football helmets, don't have me with 5 of your friends, try not to do the silly poses where you're putting your fingers up, your hands on your hips. Just give me a normal photograph that is school appropriate, and then I can start. And then I ask them questions about what sports they might play, what clubs they're in, whether they have a job or not, if they're in vocational school. I ask them about the ways they learn, if they've had siblings that I've had. Asking them about problems that might be going on in their life that might interfere with things. That one is a big one. Because when the kids open up to you and they tell you that something's going on at home, there's a struggle going on, you have to be able to remember that because it's going to come back. I've had lots of kids say mom and dad are going through divorce or somebody is sick at home. And when you can connect with the kid through that, if you ask the kid another day, hey, how's your mom doing? They remember that and they come back to you. Just basically being a good human being. Now, at the bottom of this, I always ask them questions. I ask them, I give it to them in black. I always tell them to type in a red font or a blue font. And then I type back to them. If they give me something, I will respond to it. These things usually take me, probably 10 to 15 minutes per. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to come back to why that's not a lot in a few minutes. That is my main goal. That's all I care about that first week. I give them this document. They fill it out, and then I immerse myself in it. Second thing, have a detailed syllabus. First I'm going to do is say, here's the get to know me. I want you to work on this when we have our free time. Then I go into my very detailed syllabus. Now I'm going to link one of those, like a generic version of mine, down below. Again, it's more for secondary because I can't do that elementary stuff. When it comes to rules, again, everybody's going to paint a little differently, but I don't like a lot of rules because if you have a lot of rules, that takes away your flexibility. It takes away your ability to react differently in a different set of circumstances. I never like to play, well, Joey got away with this and Bobby did this, so now he should have that. No, I don't like playing one against the other. My one rule is pretty much all about respect, and it's real easy. If you act respectfully, you get treated respectfully. I always joke with them, I'm smarter than you are, so if you're going to disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you in a way that you won't realize for 3 weeks. And they laugh and they giggle because they kind of know it's true. So they don't want to really step over that bound. So I just basically say, be respectful. If it's not something you would like done to you, golden rule. So I use respect all the time and I try to have as much fun as I can. I will make fun of myself. I will joke about myself. I'll even be like, hey kids, I don't want you really making fun of the fact that I have this gorgeous head of hair. And they'll laugh and they'll giggle and we'll get on with it. It's just a way to open up, be more more human, which is something I'll get to, and also a way to give them something to hold on to anchor into your room. Third, seating chart. Don't put it in alphabetical order. Two reasons. Number one, they get sick of each other. If you're going alphabetical all the time, they get sick of each other. I always try to put kids that I know are a little bit smaller toward the front. You can see in their pictures, maybe they're a little bigger. I try to put a group of boys here, a group of girls there. Try to just move it all around, because psychology will tell you that if you're trying to learn things in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you forget 3, you're also going to forget 4 and 5. So if you learn it out of order, and this is a study tip I give my kids as well, you do numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, then you go 2, 4, 6, 8, and then you go backwards, and you jump around, you'll learn them faster. Now, I have the availability to print in color, and I make their pictures much bigger. I don't know if your school will do pictures or not, but I put their pictures on my seating chart, and then I greet them at the door. And as they're walking down the hallway, and I'm like, I remember that face. What's their name? I kind of cheat, look down at my notes, and then I can call them by their name, and they like that. But you want to do this within the first week, because it's just the right thing to do. Now, you can use that get to know me not just as filler, but you then need to act on it. Go to those sporting events. Go find the kid in the band that's playing on the Friday night football and go seek them out playing the saxophone and wave to them or something. Ask them about the job that they wrote down. Ask them about the activities or clubs that they're in. Relate to them. Now, number 5 on my list is be open with them. I am guilty. I am guilty as charged of being a little bit too open, perhaps. First week, I usually will talk about, where I grew up, what schools I went to, careers I've had, places I've taught. Those kind of things come up. But as the year progresses, especially in the first 2 weeks, be open with them. It's okay if they know that you go food shopping. It's okay if they see you outside of school and you have shorts on. There are kids that are going to see you outside in the community, and you're not just a robot. So make sure that you're open with them as much as you're comfortable being, because if you make them feel safe in your room, you've got them. That's it. You've got them. Number 6, don't jump into curriculum. Do not give those kids homework in the first couple days. Except to get to know me, let them do that. But don't give them homework. Don't have them reading things or doing anything crazy. They're exhausted. I believe that the first week of school should be 3 days long, or should be just 5 half days. We exhaust everybody that first week. They're going into 6, 7, 8 classrooms each day, and they're getting rules after rules. They're getting talked to all day long. They're tired. Do not give them curriculum work the first couple days of school. Find a way around it. You've got a whole lot of time. You'll figure it out. Talk to them. Make conversation, engage with them. When they're doing the get to know me, you can walk around the room, or you can have them do something else small, but don't give them anything that's going to require working at home. Depending on your subject, you'll figure that one out. 7, I like to joke. I like to joke a lot and find ways to joke with them. These kids are nervous too. They're anxious. Some of them are scared. Find ways to lighten the mood. That first week of school is a whole lot of testing out. They're going to see maybe what they can push. They're going to see who they can't. If you can establish that you are in charge of your room, and this is where it's going to be, and these are the rules, but we're going to have fun in here, it's going to go a long way. I usually show a slideshow when I go over my syllabus, including some stuff about me, my background, and I make fun of a lot of things there. And I also like to tell them that I don't write anybody up. I don't remember the last time that I wrote somebody in my classroom up for a discipline behavior problem. I take care of it the hard way. I call home. Not everybody likes that move. I will email home. I know it's a problem. But if you write that kid up, they're going to hate you. They just are. Even if it's for something they deserve to be written up for. What I've gotten much better at, and this is a lesson I learned because the first couple of years you want to write everybody up for let's follow my rules. But over the years I've gotten much better at let's go out in the hallway, calm down. You're the adult. You need to be the one that's calm. Don't engage. And you just talk. And you figure out a solution to whatever they did wrong, whatever it is. If you give them the respect, they're going to give it back to you. Are you going to get that from every kid? Of course not. There are going to be bozos in every classroom. They're going to push you no matter what, but just find a way to not have to escalate. All right, 8th, I like you to get organized and get your room ready and prepared. I know that those first couple days, they give you very little time in your own room. You only have a few minutes. Make it nice, make it yours. I am a quote person, so I have a huge wall with a bunch bunch of quotes on sporadically around the room. I have flags of my sports teams up. I make it a visually okay room. I personally also don't turn all the lights on. I hate the fluorescent light thing, so I'm able to manipulate my lights, and the kids love it. They do not like fluorescent lights all day. But set everything up with your procedures in advance so that they can learn them very, very quickly. Now, we aren't the same, you and I. You're going to have your own procedures that I have mine, but get yours established as fast as you can and be flexible because they're getting procedures from a whole bunch of different classes. Next one's a big one, and it's probably an important one for a lot of you teachers out there. No icebreakers. The kids hate them more than we do. I know that one of the biggest things I hate is going into an in-service and then up front is the big white sheet of paper with the pen up there and we're all supposed to go write stuff on there and we're supposed to. I hate that stuff. And I'm an extrovert. Kids hate that, especially the more shy and reserved ones. Do not use these. They do not go well. This is what the get to know me is all about. They will tell you things on that document that they will not tell you verbally. They will be more open. They will be more honest. And then when you communicate and you learn that and go back to them with it, it's going to make all the difference in the world. They will tell you a lot, but they don't want to tell the other kids. Finally, remember to take care of yourself. The school year is going to beat you down. You need to find something that gets you away from the school building, away from worrying about those kids. Now, another phrase that bothers me, and I hate this argument. Don't let anybody get into your head with the remember your why. That's bull. The remember your why is the biggest bull because you know why you got into this profession. We love being in the classroom with the kids. We don't like all the other stuff. We don't like the administrator breathing down our neck that only spent 3 years in a classroom. We don't like the nosy parent getting into us. We like things the way we like them. And that's my classroom, the way I want to run it. And I don't need anybody coming in and sticking their nose and telling me, remember my why. You got to remember to take care of yourself or you aren't good to anyone. Thank you for listening. If you've got some good tips or some good ideas that I've missed or glossed over, if you want to comment about any of this stuff, please do. Thanks for visiting the Social Studies Hangout. Take care.